Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm sue.oneschuk, and I'm here continuing the workbook lessons of A Course in Miracles. And today we are continuing as well in and on review 6, and we're on lesson 219. And today's lesson is, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And we are reviewing here lesson 199, and it is reiterating what I just spoke. And that lesson in 199 is, I am not a body, I am free. So it goes on to say, I am God's son. Be still, my mind, and think a moment upon this, and then return to earth without confusion as to what my Father loves forever as his son. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. So again, I'm going back to the lesson itself, lesson 199 in the workbook on page 382. And I'm going to refer to some of the paragraphs here and do some reflecting as well. So it goes on again to say that, I'm not a body, I'm free. And it says freedom must be impossible as long as you perceive a body as yourself. I want to add that freedom there, freedom from the ego thought system must be impossible as long as you perceive a body as yourself. It says here, the body is a limit. It limits us. And it says, who would seek for freedom in a body looks for it where it cannot be found. And the mind can be made free when it no longer sees itself as a body. So, again, believing and perceiving that you are a body, again, it's saying here, there's no freedom. And again, you're limiting yourself. Again, the body's a defense, actually, against our truth and against our limitlessness. And it says here in paragraph 2, the mind that serves the Holy Spirit, and I'm going to say that serves a divine mind, is unlimited forever in all ways and beyond the laws of time and space, unbound by any preconceptions, and with the strength and the power to do whatever it is asked. That's again the mind that serves the Holy Spirit, that serves a divine mind. So not the ego thought system. And it says, attack thoughts cannot enter such a divine mind because it has been given to the source of love, which is God. And fear cannot or can never enter in a mind that has been attached, or it has attached itself to love. You cannot be in both places. You're either in the space of fear, caught up in the ego thought system, or you're in the space of love, which is sourced from the God within. So again, the ego thought system is all based in fear. And we are, in doing this work, shifting from fear to love. We're transcending the ego. But again, it's to recognize when I am caught up in fear, caught up in the ego thought system, caught up in the body, caught up in the illusion, the believing that I am a body, and then, serving only the body. So I'm going to go on here and say more about that in a moment. It said, the mind that serves the Holy Spirit, it rests in God. It rests, it's restful. And again, who would be afraid who lives in innocence? The Son of God is innocent, is holy, sinless, and guiltless. And again, who would be afraid who lives in innocence and only loves? We're not going to experience that love until we remove the blocks to love, which are all ego-based. And it says it is essential for your progress in this course that you accept today's idea that I'm not a body, I'm free. And to hold that very dear. Now, as you're doing this review every day, it's being repeated twice in the review lesson itself. And now there's a whole lesson on this for us to really, bring it forward that we are not this body, that we believe that we are. The body is a source of separation from God. We believe we are alone, that we're separated. It's a be not concerned that to the ego, this is quite insane. What is quite insane, again, is that it is essential for your progress in this course that you accept today's idea and hold it dear. And again, as it says, the ego thinks that's insane. The ego holds the body dear because the ego dwells in it. Remember, we're not the ego. And if we're not the ego and we're not the body, we're the one that's giving it meaning and making it real. And again, the ego holds the body dear because it dwells in it and lives united with the home that it has made, that the ego has made. It's part of the illusion that has sheltered it from being found illusory itself. So the body and the ego are one until it is divinely repurposed. Remember, the body is a communication vehicle. It's a communication device. So when it's divinely repurposed by the Holy Spirit, then the body fades. The body fades in our awareness. We're not, it's no longer our number one idol, or it's not our main priority. And we do not then live to serve the body. It's no longer, again, our main focus. God, love, joy, peace, and happiness become our focus. God is love. God is happiness. God is peace. God is joy. Then holy relationships, which is spoken of in the text as well, or in this practice and in the principles of this course. The holy relationship becomes our focus versus the special relationship, which again, the special relationship is all based on the ego. The ego seeking to get, the ego seeking to divide and separate. So when we are serving the Holy Spirit, the divine mind, when we are, allowing the Holy Spirit again to divinely repurpose our body, then again, we're choosing to experience love. We're choosing to experience joy. We're choosing to experience peace that is already always here presently. It's just that we get caught up in the illusion and take ourselves away from the presence of love. It is always within us and within our brothers and sisters. So it says, you are, again, God's sons. We were created. I am still as God created me. In immortality, you live forever. And it said, would you not return your mind to this? So it goes on to say, then practice well the thought the Holy Spirit gives you for today, which is, I'm not a body, I am free. And then your brothers and sisters stand released with you in it. There's the healing. This is the healing that occurs. As you're healed, your brothers and sisters are healed. The world, it's that the world is blessed along with you. And it says, God's Son will weep no more. And heaven offers thanks for the increase of joy that you practice, that your practice brings even to it. And God himself extends his love and happiness each time that you say this prayer. I'm not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me. And it is only this my mind obeys. So again, the lesson is, that I'm not a body, I'm free. It says, and again, it says, I am God's Son. It says, be still my mind. Remember, we're far too tolerant for mind wandering, and our mind is wandering in the fear-based thought system of the ego. So it says, be still my mind. And think a moment upon this, that I'm not a body, I'm free. And then return to earth. Return to earth here without confusion. Confusion is of the ego. Without confusion as to what your father loves forever as his son. We are forever loved. So just for further reflection, again, because I find it helpful myself when I want to add it to, these videos as we're going along. I want to read again the reflection from A Year of Forgiveness, which is Jesus continuing to speak through a channel, Tina. What I just read from the lesson again is Jesus speaking to us, giving us, what is available in our practice here to transcend the ego, to shift from fear-based thinking to love. And here's what Jesus is saying through Tina. Again, I'm not a body. It cannot be said enough for it to be planted in our minds. I'm not a body, I'm free, for I am still as God created me. And here's what Jesus has to say. You are blessed beings indeed, and I am the one you know as Jesus. And he says, your body is indeed the ego's greatest device to convince you that you are alone, that you're going to die, and that God does not love you. Now, I want to interject here, that's all the separation that we believe in. That's the only problem, is we believe in this. That is the use the body has put to by the ego's thought system. And remember, the default setting here, again, as I just said, is separation. And your body is the testament to that separation. It's the proof the ego uses to convince you that you are fallible, frail, and that you're temporary. It says, in acknowledging that, Jesus says, in acknowledging that you're not a body, you are free from the constraints of a body. In that knowledge, you will begin to relax. And with that knowledge, you will refrain from obsessing over the body, worshiping the body, and hating the body. All these things, they bring you suffering. All these things exacerbate the fear that the ego uses the body for, I should say. Now, this is not about denying the body in the sense of not feeding it well and not looking after it as the vehicle you drive around. Jesus says, just as you look after your car, you must look after your body. You must change the oil once in a while, in your car. Well, you might be, which might be something like a cleanse. There's like juicing, I'll say, or eating right foods. Make sure you attend to it, your body, as you would a vehicle. Jesus says, you understand so clearly that a vehicle will not last if you don't look after it, if you don't do the regular maintenance. So regular body maintenance can be done relatively quickly and efficiently. You do not need to obsess about the body. Have you not noticed that it works perfectly well without your interference? In fact, it is your interference, it's your negative emotions and your fears that cause the body to break down, age, and to die. These are the consequences of the lower frequency thought systems, all based in fear. And as you continue this path, you'll notice that your body gets better. I can attest to that. I'm adding that again in there here. It begins to heal itself. It will even look younger. And that is because you are not dragging it down by your resistance to life. And I'm going to say your resistance to living life fully. You are beginning to open up as you do this course. You are beginning to align with these teachings, which tells you that you are you're a divine sacred being. And even though you are in separation and have chosen to come into this place, this world, to chase your idols, you are still connected to the divine. You are made in the image of God. We are really never separated from God. We only believe again that we are. And that means you are creative, you are loving, and you are an extension of that love. Jesus says, when you do not extend the love and you become shut down, I want to say pull the covers over your head, move back into your comfort zone. When you become shut down, limited, and fearful, the body suffers. This suffering really gets your attention. So it is paradoxical to ask you not to focus on the body. And yet it is particularly paradoxical for those of you who have bodily issues, sickness, pains, or injuries. Jesus says, know that those things will heal themselves if you focus on love. I want to say love is the answer. If you focus on these teachings and your forgiveness practice, extending the unique qualities and love that is you and comes from you, you will find that everything will work better. And Jesus concludes with saying, I am the one you know as Jesus, and I will speak to you again. So I want to say, take back your power. Acknowledge your fears. Don't dwell on them. The Course says, to look at your darkness, but do not dwell in it. Be grateful for the contrast. Be grateful for your triggers. That's the contrast. Be grateful when you notice you're out of your peace, because that is the opportunity for the miracle, the opportunity to turn to the Holy Spirit. Remember, the Holy Spirit is within you. And in that connection and letting go of the ego, you will reconnect with that divine mind, the Holy Spirit. There's nothing more for you to do because it will be presented to you. Your whole perception will shift. and the miracle occurs in that holy instant. All right, that's what I have to say for today for lesson 219. Thank you from the bottom of my heart again for being here as we continue together in the practice of the Course in Miracles. Thought I was going to sneeze there. Excuse me. And I look forward to being with you for the next video, which is again a continuation of review 6. It's actually the last lesson in review 6 for lesson 220. We'll be moving on in the course with some great more principles to practice. And so go below here, please, and like, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you feel moved to do so, as you go down below here with the description, you will find how to donate. Your donations are greatly appreciated to continue to build this community here. As I'm directed by Spirit to do so. You'll also find some references below. I refer to this book often, The Year of Forgiveness, because I find it very helpful to reflect on it, to bring my attention back into the space of love, or to build on being in the space of love. And also the Workbook Companion by Ellen Watson and Robert Perry are also listed below. There's many others that are out there as well. So for now, I think I've said what I need to say. I look forward to being with you in the next video for lesson 220. And from my heart to yours, I extend much love to you.